But who's on tomorrow? Spawning,
Yeah.
police, fire,
Yeah. And Jerry.
years.
We have that one big.
My early meeting, I heard in the big room.
Yeah.
Super.
Oh my god, this shit is still going on. Like, now it's on fucking, people still asking me, so how's stand on that plans? The city council can actually borrow money without asking us? And then now somebody else with I keep saying you shouldn't be building monstrosity that fall on deaf ears, no one listens to me. Well, what do you expect us to do?
And be like, actually, these are awesome.
It's like,
But,
Does that mean they're bad?
how do you suggest we tell people that buy property that they can't do anything?
buckle up, because there's gonna be a whole long line of them coming in the next 5 years.
And that, and how would you like to see what your taxes look like if we can't build anything when we start?
I am on pause, by the way, but it's pause before you. I'll let you know when it's live. Actually, I don't know why the Minot Pines ones I find, like, I really like them. I like it.
I like that
I
building.
like having a deck.
Well, it looks, it's like visually interesting.
Right.
Other than the one that we approved the other night, I wasn't so thrilled with on planning commission. Just the way it looked.
Yeah.
And I told the developers that, and the architects, was like, can we use like color a little better? Like, why is this like beige?
You sound like a concrete.
What's that?
You sound like a concrete.
No, I just wanted to be like more, yeah, a little more interesting. Like, it doesn't have to be more expensive, just like, why is it beige? Ugh.
Was that the one on the drive?
The
Property.
which one? No, yeah, the one on, yeah, the one on by, no, that's the one by, San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, I heard from all these Madison residents,
Yeah.
like, why are we building there? It's gonna block our lake view from the shopping center.
Exactly.
Oh, it's too, but too,
Just let them know that we'll cut down the trees on the, along the extension trails, in fact, that's this voluntarily.
Like, I'll tell you what, you remove your gate on Cold Spring over there, and then we can talk about that.
Sorry.
I like it. Although there's no pines there, we did mention that. We know the pines one, they're like,
one seat times.
what, right?
I think. At the golf course.
Yes, they're like, maybe you want to plant some pines, so we call them plants.
Yeah, some of it's not good.
No, and now I'm in this long,
Spend some time educating yourself, you know, it's like some of the questions.
from now on, I think I'm just gonna start sharing things. You know,
Yeah. So.
and that's what I did, it was like, here's the link to the budget. You can look at it. It's like, this is the first I've ever heard we borrowed money for San Damiano. How'd you do that? You voted, didn't you? Like, you.
Well, you both have certainly taken a Herculean task.
Oh, God, I feel like the Monona who buds it, you know, it's like. The one lady, I'm trying to figure out how my $8,000 in taxes were, well, first off, only 33% of that is done. What? What do you mean? Don't you collect it? I'm like, yeah, it goes 50% goes to the school. It does,
Yeah.
the school board sucks, she said. We're giving money to them? So. You'll never believe in text too about that whole thread. Jimmy Unit saying, I'm sorry that you have to deal with this. Like, we're sitting around.
Yeah.
It's on pause, right?
Yeah.
I know, Ginger was gonna come in on Zoom.
Okay.
Notice Janine's name was on the email that gets sent out.
Should be. Maybe it's not.
Remaining private or something.
They say,
Yeah, it's just Jacobs SG. And it's don't have her name on there.
Low, low.
Leave about 15 minutes. If it's a part.
me too. Again.
He helps me with all my, he does my auditions too, my mom.
It's a side gig.
We should. Yeah. It's got 30 minutes. Um.
Sit on there. You guys just like, I'll start recording. Whenever you're ready, Alderwood, and then see Ginger's name pop up on here, you guys, just let me know. Add her in.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I'm. Yep.
Hey, you guys, we're live here.
Okay, I will call the Wednesday, November 13th, 2024 meeting of the Mount Park Rec Board order. Where you noted the roll. We don't have that,
We do not, it'll be at this month.
right? We don't have any appearances.
Not appear anyone's online, no.
No unfinished business, the new business is recommendation of bid award for the community center remodel.
So this project has been, this is the second time it's been bid out, it was approved in the 2023 capital budget. To do, the stairwell would be the main item, open it up, do some improvements to the lower level, there's a mechanical maintenance room, that would be turned into a multi-purpose room, reception area, some slight changes to, Diane's office, the senior center director. And then upstairs would be a reconfiguration of our offices, for better flow of the staff that we have here. And then this room would receive, new lighting and, window upgrades over here. And so this is, a project that got redesigned a little bit, some things were taken out. This time around, we had 5 bids, which is really good, and KSW was the, low bidder. And that information is in the packet with the dollar amount. So we originally had $300,000 for this project. We had about 7,500 in design and big document preparation fees. That were in this year's budget, and so the low bid was 276, 356. Leave us approximately $9,000, and so. We're within budget, but on a project in an old building like this, there's the opportunity and chances that additional items will come up, which will result in potential change or contingency fund. So I'm recommending that we add an additional $18,000 from the existing capital account, which has been borrowed for already, for the Grand Park Shoreline project. Overall, I'm comfortable recommending the apparent low bidder of KSW. They've done 2 projects in the last year in the city. The bathrooms at the fire station, and then a bathroom downstairs at the senior center. So they've been very responsive to staff. They're getting to work around. Workload, this project would happen, it's start construction in January, have substantial completion by then.
Anybody have questions? Or
What is the plan for this like space going?
So this space would just be new lighting.
But like, what are you planning on? using?
Well, this would be for community events, city events. And so right now, the space is actively being used by the senior center during the day. And so with the removal of the after-school program, the seniors have been able to utilize the space on this level for additional programming. And then, potentially night and weekends, we'd be able to offer this up for Monona-based organizations. At the very least, city events, holiday parties, etc. In 2 weeks, we have a holiday craft show, we've got a little consignment sale. And so those type of public events in this building are probably, we'll be looking at more of those, not private rentals, but the ability for our nonprofits and our public events.
any other questions? Or
Motion approved.
further discussion?
Who was the second? Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Carries. Finally get this thing done.
Yeah.
Feel safer going up and downstairs.
Correct.
Okay, and then the next item is the recommendation of capital budget amendment for capital cities, community center project. That's transferring.
Be $18,000 from the Grand Park Shoreline project to the community center. Now, we may not actually need that money, but having a recommendation from this body allows some flexibility. If we wouldn't use it, it would go back into that project for future consideration.
When is the grant? Perfect.
Well,
And then there's something that might actually have. Or what?
I don't have. So we were hoping to do like a design build for kind of the stair riprap rocks that we have over here and that stone bridge. I think it's gonna actually need some design funding to it. Some design engineering and whether or not we would want to compel ourselves with a sidewalk path to the bench and comply with the ADA. So it's kind of in that area. Whether we just hold on that for a while. Or look at that funding for all the projects in 2025.
You got any questions about that?
To move the funds over to the building project.
Second. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. The only other thing we have is the direct report.
I just put in the packet this upcoming agenda items, because I wanted to embrace everyone for the amount of work that we have to do. A lot of items were kind of contingent upon passing or not passing of the referendum, and we're on hold. And so over the next couple of months, you're gonna see the following items that are connected in the packet. The biggest one will be next month, we'll be talking about, hours operation of the outdoor pool and some potential proposed changes from the existing schedule that we have. That would affect, open swim lessons. And that would in turn open up the facility use agreement that we have with the swim and dive. That would potentially change some of the times that we have. Those would be on the next month, December, for consideration. It's mainly budget neutral, so it's part of the operating budget that we're going through right now. But it would really just be about adopting a different set of hours and operations that would have some impact, I think, positive on both swim and dive and swim lessons and recreational swim. We got lots of other facility use agreements, some that have expired and are looking at renewal. Some that would be new facility use agreements that have never been officially adopted. And the list we have is Monona Farmers Market is at the end of their 5-year. So that'll be one to at least think about at this committee level. We've never charged any fees for the use of Ahuska Park in the past. And I think it's a discussion point to talk about how we can potentially raise funds for future improvements at Ahuska Park to support the farmers market. And so I've been in contact with board president Aaron Dahlbach, who wonderful to work with. Aaron, if you're online, we certainly enjoy that partnership that we have with the farmers market. The Adult Softball Association that utilizes the 2 fields and the concession stand, they'll be on in the future for hours and operations and fees. The Papa's Barbecue food cart that's at Ahuska Park was on a 3-year. They're at the end of their 3-year. We'll be looking at bringing that forward proposal with the opportunity to have additional food carts available to vending at Ahuska. Community Festival, that'll hopefully be able to share more information with this board. That might be next month or January to move forward with the facility use agreement for 4th of July celebration event in Monona. Hometown Baseball, it's another organization that utilizes park property that has not been on facility use agreement before. We've got some potential proposed recommended revisions to our special event ordinance and the scheduling of fees. We just had the Madison Marathon come through town on Sunday. If anyone saw or watched the runners, that was our latest one. Next one will be the polar plunge at Loudon Park in wintertime, so and then we'll start the whole process over again. There are some other events that are looking at coming to Monona, but before we look at approving those, we want to at least investigate at least from our level, kind of review through this now a year or two with all the department and staff and kind of what it takes to administer these events. We still have a funded Maywood Park master plan. So that's been kind of on pause during the capital budget that got moved back by the mayor and approved by the council. But I'd like to at least get that done over the next 6 months and have something that we'll see what the 2026 capital budget looks like as far as potential ultimate revenue, streams to fund a project there, whether that still is a priority or something else comes up in the next 6 months. And then this community center rental policy discussion, so kind of talking about with the completion of a remodeled main hall. At our discussion last night, the library is looking at changing its policy for usage of the rooms there. So there's some of the nonprofits that don't have to pay a fee at the library. They're looking to a fee-based model. regardless of nonprofit status, of course, we'll push some of those groups that would like to come here. So it's time to have that discussion and what it looks like from a staffing level, et cetera. So those, probably that's a list for at least 3 or 4 meetings. They're not all gonna be in one meeting, but spread over the course of, 3 to 4. If there's anything else that you have that you're interested in or want to kind of see some background work, you can feel free to email me or set up a time to have those discussions. A lot of policy related stuff. But I think, with the kind of some clarity on the budget process and the referendum, we can kind of move forward with what we have to communicate.
Updates on the ice rink.
Is there anything that anyone, we'll get to that under the report, but is there anything else that anyone has thought of right now or on the top of their head that I might be missing that we talked about over the course of the last year as far as policy or planning goals?
They're pretty satisfied with the way the pickleball policy situation worked out. Or do we need to?
Mostly, yes, mostly. Yeah. I mean, I think there's some people that are style play that they play here,
Right.
but I haven't heard as much discourse. We do not have any projects for 2025 in capital budget, so we will not have any bid awards, et cetera. We do have the electric vehicle that got approved that we put those specs together, so hopefully that'll just waiting on signatures from administration and should have that in the spring, otherwise it'll just be tree planting. I may bring that back as an agenda item, or if we just have consensus about what we talked about on our tour last week with some tree planting locations and bench locations to make available for memorial or corner benches. We also have some bike rack groups that I've been working with under local manufacturer for different types of bike racks that can be supported through user donations. So one has a different plate on it, et cetera. So that may be an agenda item to see if I can offer that up this winter and get our kind of list together of what people are willing to purchase and donate and have that linked up for spring install.
All right, director's report.
November is a fairly busy month as we kind of transition from active park facilities, closing of our park shelters and getting ice rink up and ready. It's a long process of moving equipment from a secondary location, secondary, tertiary. We have about 4 different spots where we store all the things that it takes to operate the Lake Ridgebank River Rink. We are opening on Saturday, and it's been a huge lift from our staff to be able to get everything ready. Temperatures are really high for this time of year, and our chiller is working overtime to maintain the temperature needed to kind of make ice. So we will have our light ice ceremony, I believe in 2 weeks from Saturday, but I could be wrong. Missy and Jessica's. So we still have a fair amount of decorations to put up. So the first weekend is kind of ice, skating, and then we go right into instructional skate lessons. So Jessica Walsh, our rec supervisor, has been amazing at recruiting and going through the training process for staff over the last week. So it is kind of like all ice rink all the time right now as we kind of get up that running. As I gave my presentation last night for the operating budget, it's a similar like 100 days of operation that kind of equates to the outdoor pool. So I don't think that way necessarily, but when we open so early in November and get through the end of February, it's kind of a similar, heavy rush opening, all the open skates, and then instructional programs, special events. rentals, et cetera, and then trying to push towards the revenue goals that we have. It'll be a little bit interesting this year with just how we maintain when we get snow, as we're projected to get our first snowfall potentially next week, so keep an eye out, guys, for some snow. With the addition of Maywood School, and it's, we'll basically have three different priorities now. With snow removal, we'll have Maywood School parking lot, which we're contractually obligated for, the new park paths, to get those removed and around campus, and then the ice rink, and so. It'll be a little bit of a learning curve on how quickly we can get through all of those, especially if it's, weekend work, but, that we're looking forward to. I can report that, the plan commission, after tabling, the Adams outdoor digital billboard sign, recommended approval at the last meeting, so that will be going to the city council. I think in December, I don't think it's gonna go to this next meeting for approval, and we would anticipate a winter to early spring, after the contract and legal and all that goes through. So if you recall, that got negotiated, and we'll negotiate in the lease for a one-time payment of $20,000 to do refinish landscaping at the park, which we will be looking at doing, spring or in summer after that all gets put in. The lease payment would go into the general fund. The operating budget, we'll have two meetings, and that includes the implementation of the compensation plan for the referendum. So thank you for all of those that supported this department, both publicly and privately during this process. It was very close votes, and we're very excited to be able to compensate our staff appropriately, especially in our department, and move forward and do what we continue to have done, which is serve the community. It also gives us some flexibility in non-personnel costs. That includes like some contracted services for landscaping and maintenance, and so we'll see some contracted services for Grand Crossing Park, Lottis Park, some of our park signs, and most definitely San Damiano will either be completely 100% contracted out through an MOU with the Friends, or we'll use some of those, funded for contracted snow removal, mowing, et cetera, moving into 2025. I think that's it.
Jake, with the ring, do you need help with spraying the ring to get it ready?
We're good now. We'll see. I think I haven't checked today because we've been in meetings all morning. It would be like tomorrow night or. What is it, Wednesday? Tomorrow night or Friday night. But I think we'll be okay. I'll let you know. I was gonna message you on, but it was like Saturday morning at 6. I went down there last, I'm like, I don't know, Jeff's up right now, I don't wanna risk it. I was gonna be like, heading down to the ring, Jeff, if you wake up, come on down. But then it was like, it rained all day Sunday, so I don't even know, but it was worth it, like we got a bunch of rain, which kind of helped, so. But yeah, I can send that out, and certainly if you'd like, I can send kind of the schedule of events. Best way is to follow us on social media, or if you're signed up for our email list, or we're pretty good, I think, at getting the information out for upcoming events and programs. We're still hoping that maybe, depending on what we get for snow, ideally do some sort of impromptu like snowshoe hike or candlelight hike path for this winter, and be a nice rain here instead of having. We're not participating in our typical snowshoe hike at all the Legal Nature Center with massive parks, and although just with the ice rink over the years, we found that just is an added layer of another weekend that we're trying to work on some work-life balance for our admin. But will still be happening, but maybe something here that's a little bit easier to put on.
You wanna talk about indoor pickleball?
Oh, sure. So I actually just briefly touched on it last night at going through the budget process about, you know, now that we have Maywood, one of our goals and objectives is to make it multi-generational. Opportunities, so, the audit, I don't wanna say the gym, it's not quite a gym, but it's the lunchroom that serves as the tile floor gym. We were able to fit one full-size pickleball, I was hoping to get two, and another kind of practice one. And we are able to start, some advanced pickleball lessons, and get intermediate, and those filled up in like a day. And so we're starting to do some programs there, we've got some one-day programs scheduled. That will be some multi-generational, like there's like cookie decorating, there's a, get art drawing. Canvas type of paint program. And so we'll continue to look at ways that we can utilize that space and the off time, so. We'll kind of be slowly releasing that, so like to be able to look at, you know, maybe some drop and pickleball on weekends, and we're still working with staff and how that, make that work. And so it's good to see, I think, you know, we're very fortunate to have some really amazing staff in some key areas, and so like when we come here in the summertime, look at 5 or 100 people doing aqua Zumba. The instructor already rock style, they follow her around wherever she goes. When you look at our pickleball lessons and programs, like, why is it so good? Well, we have Joe Martin, it's like, you know, really good. We have Sky Mark, who's really, like, we've got just some really good instructors, and over time, you know, we try to foster those relationships, and obviously we pay a little bit more for the experience, but we've also seen the community response to having a higher talented, you know, instructor or employee to kind of help with the program. So we'll continue to look at how we can support those programs. So I know, I heard that you would got quite a good workout in other night.
It was good.
Yeah.
No,
How was the ball bounce?
It's
The bounce of the ball, on the floor?
Yeah, no,
fun.
it works well, yeah. So I was real happy with the surface. That was my concern, was
Yeah,
how is it going to be compared to the outdoor in the hard asphalt type surface? And, you know, we practiced, we weren't in a game situation, but my other concern was with just the slickness of the floor, and the floor wasn't like that. You were moving and you weren't sliding, so good surface, a little lower for the ceilings. You know, it's indoor though, so that works well.
we want to see what this one can do with one.
Right.
So like jumping. You would put a full size. Just.
Watch out for the new lighting.
Yeah. They'll be like, the new lighting will be like halo, like rings almost. And so that was with the slanted ceilings, there's not a lot of great options, but we didn't want to have these bowls that collect the dead flies, and these are all. We had an infestation of wasps in the late fall, I mean, thousands of wasps that we had made some sort of home, and so they were contracted to not be in our building anymore, but they found their last lungs and life, and the lights, and they've all been sucked out like once, so that I think will actually really keep us from a lot nicer. I did just on the agenda, you'll notice that there's like some language, it's the charge of the duties and responsibility that was asked by the administrator. Or maybe from the council, I'm not exactly sure, but in case you're wondering what we do and what our purpose is, that'll be on each agenda board. There's some responsibilities of this board.
Yeah, we're good. That's happening for all of these.
Oh, Ginger's in the waiting room. Just as a reminder, in January, We do open up park shelter reservations to Winona residents. They have a 1 month. Ahead of time to be booking for events for next summer. We have lake access permits that are now available for 2025. That's a cooperative program with City of Madison Parks. And Dane County Parks. The fees that are collected, and this is for public in Winwashi, are kept in the community. So if you use the boat launches at Winona, we'd love if you would purchase your pass from the city of Winona. We've had discussions that will be ongoing with some revenue sharing options, because we have 3 of the 13 launches and probably the nicest launch at Lottis Park. And receive the least amount of money between the jurisdictions, between City of Madison and County. Dane County Parks did not want to increase their fees for this year. That's a discussion that we'll need to have about just what it takes to maintain those launches and have funds available for the making improvements to them. In February is when we'll start registration for our summer camp programs and after school for the fall of 25. And we are also hosting a regional Park and Rec Association meeting on December 13th at High Street. So we have guests here representing Richmond, party board member, invite, but you're all welcome to that if you want to see what the colleagues of Park and Rec can talk like. Some of them are just like Missy and I, and some aren't. And then our annual conference is in February. Staff to that. Hi Ginger, sorry, I think I forgot about admitting you. I don't know how long.
Oh, no worries. I was just, doing other things here while I was, I'm good. Thanks for hosting via Zoom because I just got back from my dentist about 10 after 3, so I apologize.
Well, we're right at the end of the meeting. Do you have any questions, comments, or concerns?
Oh, geez, are you serious?
Yeah, we're quick and efficient today.
Wow. No. Seems like I missed the most of it, so I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
All right, anybody else have any questions?
For the boat launch fees, is that something, and I don't recall if I've seen it on the Park and Rec website, on the city newsletter website, but I think it's good information to keep them here.
We'll put it, yeah, a good idea. You put the e-newsletters, I think Friday is our deadline for submissions, so we'll see if we can get that on a priority one. This is kind of like the other organizations, once you're on the list, they just like send you like the renewal notice and it's automatic, so we gotta figure out how to do that a little better. And then I would most likely be asked to bring that as a recommendation from this board to the Dane County Parks Commission about fee increases for next year. That'll be kind of like mid-year and we'll meeting in January. Shocker that I'm always like, we should be raising the fees, it's very expensive to maintain these launches and like we don't get the revenue a lot of times on, especially at the most popular launch with all these pass holders from the bottom of Madison or Dane County. And then that's just not bringing in the revenue, but we're incurring the expense, right? The shelters, bathrooms, etc. So but yeah, it's a good idea, Jeff, I'll put that on there.
Anybody else have anything?
Oh, one last thing, if you follow regional local park news, our neighbors have a proposal to look at select parking lots to charge fees to use those parking lots. So stay tuned on the outcome of that. City of Madison District, these just came up today about looking at installing some paid parking inside of their parking lots. So potential revenue, it's not been going over well online. Community, but given the referendum vote here, certainly I think there's a balance of continuing to look at alternate forms of revenue. And fees that for service. And so while we do have some flexibility in the referendum budget, certainly I think we'll still be kind of keeping an eye on what makes sense for the city and the department and, where our time is spent and how those fees are adjusted. Whether it's based on residency or based on high volume use, demand, et cetera. So some of that will come back, although we already did, in the budget process, approve from this board a significant increase for a lot of our services across the board. But those will be looked at, annually and maybe even sooner than that, as different opportunities arise.
Okay, said that before.
I know, sorry.
All right, then if there's no other questions or comments, so we'll keep adjourned.
Move to adjourn.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Guys.
Have a nice night.
Thanks, Venture.
Yeah, see you next month.
You bet.
Bye-bye.